Hello, welcome to our next step-by-step tutorial of QUICKSURFACE. We'll be working today on this part. This part doesn't come together with the installer, so you need to download the STL file. The STL file link is available in the description of the video if you are watching it on YouTube, or if you're watching it on our tutorial page, it will be on the side of the video. So just press on the link download and get the STL file. Once you get the STL file, bring it in QUICKSURFACE and you can play around and explore the shape. So let's begin. The first thing, as usual, what we need to do is to align our part. I'm going to click on Extract Primitives first. I want to get this plane at the bottom. We'll play with the degrees. We'll put it to 2 for now, to make sure that you get the same result, and then I'll select Fit Plane. I can explore. You can place this to 0.03, which is 30 microns, so you can see the quality, and if you are happy with this, you can just create and stay. This means that now we can continue to extract other primitives. The next thing I need to do is just to get this cylinder, because this will define my z-axis. Again, I click somewhere here and select the command field cylinder. You can see that it fits quite well. Make sure that you don't have this auto constraint enabled. This will make simply the best fit of this cylinder. Again, press create and stay. What we need is to get a third primitive that will define our constraints for the coordinate system. I'll just click on the side on this plane and we'll fit the plane. Again, if you want, you can play with the auto constraint option, that this will be used to automatically determine the perpendicularity of the plane, but for now just leave it unchecked. As I'm happy now, I can now press create. If I press create, it will close the dialog because I don't need it at the moment. Let's do the next step, which is aligning the object. I'm going to click on Align by Coordinate System. The order is important, so because the plane is not fully perpendicular to the cylinder, it's really up to you which one you choose as the most important. In this case, I will start with the plane. This means that OX plane will be on my plane for sure, and I will flip. The next, I will pick the cylinder, and the third one will be the other plane that will define my y-axis. Again, I need to flip here so I can see it in this direction. So this will be how the object will be positioned in space. I'm ready and will press apply. If I just explore the results, place it on top view, you see that everything is where it needs to be. I will just close it for now. I will just hide these primitives and we'll show the coordinate system so you can understand how we align the object. As you can see, the bottom plane is exactly on our OXY plane and the z-axis goes through the center of the cylinder. Let's start building now our bodies. The first thing I'm going to choose is the 2D sketch. It will just create the cross sections through the shape, and I choose somewhere here so I can get a nice rectangle. Okay, it's square in this case, but it's a rectangular surface, and I am going to select the option which is to project the sections onto my initial starting plane. What this means is that the software will create a slice through this mesh and will project everything down onto the XY plane. When I'm happy with this slice, actually here it's not so good, so make sure you see the full square and then you can just create. Now I can recreate my outer shape. We'll go to our brush tool and we'll select the rectangle option. Make sure that the instant fit is enabled and the auto fillet is turned off. Adjust the size of the brush in a way that is convenient for you. I don't have any number, but you can put it somewhere here. Now hold the left mouse button and start painting on top of the shape. The software automatically will fit the lines and will create this rectangle for you. Now I'm happy with my profile. As you can see now, the profile is exactly on an XY plane, and I'm ready to create my extrusion. We'll click on the sketch and select extrude. Go and select the mesh so it's visible on the screen. I'm going to start dragging the top handle to a position onto the space, and we'll turn the snapping on so I can see where I can best fit. You can pick somewhere here. You can see the value is very weird, so you can adjust this to something very specific, 5.95 millimeters. Now I assume that I'm happy with the result and press OK. Because we started from the initial plane, there is no need to create a negative extrusion, so we are perfectly fine with the result so far. As a next step that we can do is to create our chamfer. Let's hide for now the body so you can understand this is on the side. And I'm going to click on the body and select the option which is called fillet from this pop-up menu or from the toolbar. What I need to do now is actually pick the edges that I want to create a chamfer. I'm going to select the option chamfer here, and we'll start dragging the shape. You can see that I can select the different radius here. In order to get the best results, I just turn on the tolerance option. That will give me the indication how far my chamfer is from the underlying shape. So by dragging it, I see how close we are to the underlying scan, and I just note that this is 1 millimeter. I'll just press it to 1 millimeter and we'll press OK. Now I have my correct shape. Let's focus on the other side. Let me turn off the coordinate system, and we'll be recreating these two pins. I'm going to pick this plane and select a 2D sketch. Now I'll drag in a way so that it intersects. As you can see, because this option is turned off, it will slice and project this down. So this means that the resulting sketch will start from initial plane. Then I can press create. In this case, you have two choices. One is to create both, or you can use the circular pattern to generate results. I'm going to show you how to do this. Going back to the brush fit, we'll paint over this shape and lift my mouse button. I made a mistake, which was the rectangle, so I go edit, undo. We'll select the option which is called fit circle. Now it actually extracts the circle, and you go back. For now this is good enough for me, and I'll press OK. I'm going to click on this and create my extrusion. Let us show the mechanical part. And I'm starting to dragging my top plane to find the best location. You can see the number is something like this. You can put it to 2 millimeters. Then I can just press OK. Now, for the purposes of Boolean operation, it's always recommended that you just drag this inside the other body. What I mean with this, now we have enough material inside, so when we perform the combining the two bodies, that we get a good result. But we're still not ready yet. What I'm going to do is just pick this shape and go to pattern, circular pattern. As you can see, by default it chooses the z-axis, so this is my circular pattern. This is good enough for me, and now I can just combine the two. How we combine is just dragging this rectangle on the screen to select everything, and the software will offer for me this button which is called combine, or you can go to arrow next to the trim and select combine selected bodies. As you can see now, we have one result, and this is one single body that we created here. We'll carry on and we'll create the holes here. Let me hide so you can understand better these two holes. It is very similar approach. Clicking here, creating 2D sketch, dragging a little bit and pick the exact shape and press create. Let's extract the two circles now, again with the brush fit the circle, and now I will just create the other circle. Go back and create extrude. Now we need to find out the depth of this extrusion. Let me hide this combined body and show the mesh. What we can do is just by dragging the handle, we can just pick where it ends. So it's somewhere here. You can choose the depth and decide where it needs to be and press OK. Showing the main body. This time what we need to do is select this big body, and instead of combining, we'll just select the option which is called cut. Again, it's the same, cutting from this, selecting it from this menu, or you can go to trim, cut from the selected solid. Then I pick the shape that will remove material from the shape and press OK. In this way we recreated the bottom. I'm not going in details, but you can do the same approach to create this hole here and these two holes on the other side, so you can do experiment and create yourself. Let's carry on and start reconstructing the top shape. We'll pick again, we'll use the extrusion, select this plane, creating an extruded shape, dragging this to create a section. Let's check this option now, so we get the sketch here and press create. In this case I need to get the outer shape only, go to brush fit. Now you just paint only outside to get the outer circle, go back. As you can see, because it's a best fit, it actually didn't place this accurately, so you can just drag this to get it perfectly onto the center of the origin, so you can get the best results. And perhaps you can just give it a dimension here. I'll just pick this dimensions option, click on the circle, drag it on the side, and it will give you a number that you can round to, for example, 20.1 millimeter, or perhaps 20. Now this is the design intent. It's really up to you to decide what you want to do, whether you want to follow exactly the shape or you want to provide something that is fully manufacturable. Let's see what we did. I'll just show my part, click on it and create my extrusion. Because the snapping is turned on, I'll just drag it on top to pick a good location. While for the bottom plane, I will just drag so it goes inside our body and press OK. We are ready now to create the next step. Again, we'll select everything and select combine. To finish the main body, what we need to do is create a chamfer here. Pick the top face, go to fillet, and we need to select this shape and start dragging. As you can see, it now works with the fillet, but I needed this to be chamfer. Drag it, see where I get the best result, and as you can see, I'm going to use 0.5 millimeters as this is correct rather than just any random numbers. Press OK. So far we recreated the main body, and in the next part of the video I'm going through more advanced techniques to be able to recreate the thread into this shape. Welcome to the second part of our tutorial. What we're going to do now is actually create our thread. we ended up with this solid here, and now we need to recreate it. Now here is the thing what I analyze. Instead of actually creating this thread by adding materials, what we're going to do is that we'll drill a hole here, and then we'll cut from this material to be able to create the thread, because I think this is the normal way you would do it in the reality. Let's start. I will just place it in 2D and we'll create my 2D sketch. We'll not change the plane, and now instead of moving the plane, what I'm going to do is using our tool which is called outline mesh. The outline mesh will actually get the boundaries of the visible areas of the mesh, and this is what will be used as points. I will just create this. The next step I need to do is to create my hole. In this case I will just use it manually, and we'll make it 11.5 millimeters. Press OK. Actually this is a little bit bigger, so probably I need to make it 11.4. Press OK. In this case we'll create a extruded surface that will go through the whole object, like this one. And for the practicing, you can use the option which is in the extruded panel, which is called cut. When you select this cut option, you save your next operation, so everything is done in one. What I mean, it will just cut from everything that is visible. Going further onto the object, there is, before we create a thread, there is actually chamfer here that we need to reconstruct. I'm selecting this. We'll go and pick this edge. Sorry, I just need to select the option which is called fillet, and then select the chamfer. Using the tolerance option, I'll determine what is the best value here, which is probably something like 1 millimeter. This is the best I can do from my scan data. Now we are going to start constructing our thread that will be removing material from the main shape. I'm going to 2D sketch, and now I will select the option which is called for revolved surface. I'm not touching, not rotating the object, the plane, sorry, because this is enough to get my profile, and I will create my sketch here. What I'm choosing is this opening here that will be my driving shape, and we'll reconstruct. We'll use the brush tool to fit a line, yeah, and we'll fit another line here. We'll press back. Now the next step would be to use the corner trim, and we'll select the option which is called auto fillet. I will brush over these endpoints, and the software automatically will make this fillet for me. Then you press OK. Try to manipulate now and move this a little bit out, so you can get this profile correctly to cut material from the main body. The final step in this sketch I'm going to do is just to close it. Now I have my profile. I need to create the helix. For this reason, we are going to use the dedicated tool which is called the helix shape, and this is accessible from the surfacing menu. Click on the surfacing and select helix. There are a couple of options that you need to set before you have this shape. The first one is what is the axis of the thread, and in our case is the z-axis. Then what we need is the pitch. Pitch is the distance between these shapes here, and I'm going to measure like this. Type here that it's 125. This will be the most accurate shape that you get. The next step will be to define where it starts and where it finishes our helix. I'll just select the pick option for the start point and we'll click it here. And for the end point, I will just zoom out, rotate, and try to focus and find out where this is, and we'll pick this point. As you can see, the software now automatically created the thread for me. I can explore and see the quality where it ends. Perhaps this is not the correct location. I will just pick the start point definitely to be on this shape, and you can see now that the thread is going precisely where I need it to be, all the way down. What I need to do as the final step is just to extend this. How do we extend? Using the extend command. You can see by default it just continues the helix in a straight way, but I will select natural. If I pick natural, it will just make another round. Although the slider works here, you need it a little bit more, so you can type in 200%. It will make 2 turns. And for the end, I think 1 will be enough. Select again natural. This is good enough for us to get a good thread. So this is the good step for now. I will continue. And now the next step would be to actually complete our project. In order to continue, we need to create a solid from the helix and the profile. I'm using the command which is called sweep. The sweep requires a guiding curve. I pick my curve here, and then I need to get a profile, which is this one. This will generate our surface. When I say surface, because this option is turned off, the solid, it will be generated as surface, but what we need is actually to have a solid here. Make sure that the solid option is turned on. And when you pick the sketch, make sure that the selected chain is selected so you can get this as a solid body. Now we have this solid, and this will cut from our material. I'm going to show my main body. Now, if you explore, you'll find out that this is a problem here. We cannot cut this from our main body. What I need to do is make a little bit of adjustment. I'm going to edit this sketch that we used to cut, and instead of this radius, we probably need to move it slightly in to make sure that trimming, the cutting from the main thread that we created is properly and generates the desired result. Then I press OK. I hope now this is good enough, and the last operation that I will do, let me hide the mesh, will be pick the main body and use the boolean cut, and you can see that we now successfully created our thread. You can press OK to accept the results, and you can explore using the mesh here. I hope that this gave you the idea of what you can do in a bit more advanced level. Stay tuned, follow us, and expect more tutorials on our channel. Thank you for watching.